social enterprise is an organization that applies commercial strategies to help improve societies around them. It can be in the form of cooperative, mutual organization, or a disregarded entity, and can be scheduled as a profit or not-profit organization. We speak to Dr. Mastura Rosly, a person propagating social enterprise in this country.
Part of its mission in its business is not just to make money, but it's about contributing to the society, hence the term social in the social enterprise. Amazingly, even though we as a nation have a lot of non-governmental organizations or individuals or welfare groups, that focus on a lot of social issues, the concept of enterprises, business, corporates contributing to the same type of goals to help the society is still not very prevalent, not very strong at all. And this is the idea that I'm trying to introduce and propagate and let grow. Save Our Skins was basically created as a platform for rehabilitation into the workforce. In a way, it was a personal journey, a personal experience of not just working with individuals who had to be rehabilitated, back into society, also working force, but it happened at a moment in time when I was going through some emotional ups and downs as well. I felt that I needed to step back and look at what things that I thought were important previously that I haven't really done anything about. And I'm very, very passionate about providing a better world for the future. I've got 3 kids, and I want a better world for them. So green environment is number one. Never before have we heard, the worst hurricanes in the century 3 times in 1 week, and we're seeing that now. So what little each and every individual can do for the future, they should do, and this is our part as the founder of Save Our Skins.
So the question is, why soap making, and why is it important to propagate social enterprise through this form of business?
My day job includes part of it working with individuals with mental health issues. So they are mental health survivors, they have mental illness, and they are trying to reintegrate into the society. So the center that I'm working at works focusing on how to, number one, reintegrate these individuals who have been ostracized back into the society, number one, and number two, to help rehabilitate them. These are individuals who have been unwell for so many years, if not decades, and previously, the idea behind mental illness is that they have to be institutionalized. They are not safe enough to be around society. But with the advent of a lot of medications, that's not true anymore. So we can no longer focus on just stopping the symptoms of mental illness, hearing voices, seeing things, believing in odd things. It's no longer about stopping the symptoms, but it's about letting them regain their function. And the most important function that an individual, an adult can have is the ability to hold a job and the ability to actually sustain themselves financially. So while I was working with these individuals at the rehabilitation center, one of the skills that we tried to teach the patients or the clients was soap making. We wanted them to learn on how to make soaps. So we did actually achieve that. However, I had a ping moment that why stop here? So we proceeded on not to just the melt and pour technique of making soaps, which right now is what we feel we can introduce the clients to. But we felt that there are other types of soaps that would cater to a bigger market, not just the mass market, but the upper class markets. So that's the type of market that we're trying to tap.
Because of the versatility in doing this form of business, many users and consumers not familiar or accustomed to using soap is now using soap high quality at that for the first time ever. Can you share with us some of the ideas of consumers using these kind of materials for the first time in their lives?
It's very interesting. So apart from making soaps, we tried to broaden our range of products into lotions, lip balms, and also shampoos. Our mainstay, our core value is to provide beauty products that is also healthy and environmentally friendly. So we add no additives, we add no preservatives, we add no stabilizing agents of any sorts that can make you, have contact dermatitis, make your skin experience abnormal, unnatural things. Number one, and number two, make sure that the environment is not exposed to chemicals that are unnecessary. So my father-in-law at 70 years old was introduced to using skincare products that actually uses recipes that were original and classic, and that was actually written thousands of years ago. Unfortunately, or fortunately, in order to maintain some, hair buoyancy and the Pantene commercial type of hair, you need to use our conditioners after shampooing the hair. And here goes my father-in-law, who at age 40 experienced for the first time in his life what conditioner is. He's like, I never thought I would be at age 70 and trying to use conditioner for the first time in my life. But despite that, what's interesting to note is that even though the saying says you can't teach an old dog a new trick, he was very open to the idea, a new concept of leaving behind store-bought products which are just convenient, but at the end of the day, not environmentally friendly.
So what is the process of making soap, and is it truly a revolutionary idea to make soap for the first time in 2018?
It might sound very novel, but trust me, this is, like I mentioned, a thousand years old recipe. I think the earliest recorded history of soap recipe may have been in the time of the Egyptians, ancient Egyptians. So I'm not doing something new. I'm not doing something novel, but it is revolutionary because we are teaching people back again to use a natural process without any additives, without any preservatives, without leaving chemical footprints in the world. So there are generally 3 types of ways to make soap. Most soap makers take the shortcut, which is to buy bulks of solid pre-made soaps called the melt and pour soap base. So what they do is literally that: melt it down, make some additives, colors or smells or whatever, and pour it out and harden it. Our soaps are processed differently. We actually take oil, so we mix it with lye, or what was known as soda ash. We wait for the process of saponification to form soap, and we purposely write our recipes so that there are a little more extra oils in there as compared to lye, so that our soaps end up very, very moisturizing. Some people may think, well, it's kind of the same, isn't it? It's just a more convenient way of doing things. I disagree. It's like calling instant noodle, the Maggi mee, the same as a hand-pulled Chinese mian. It's not. It's completely unfair to say that it is. The third process is a little bit longer, but it allows us to cut short the amount of time that's needed for the soap to be ready, and that's called the hot process soap. So through the hot processor, we can produce solid bar soaps, but also liquid soaps and shampoos.
After doing all this, the question remains on what's next on the plate. Is this going to be a step for bigger things?
As a big propagator and employer for a lot of disenfranchised communities, and because of my previous experience working with individuals or survivors of mental illness, we're looking at helping them by employing them into our packaging crew.